Hey guys, welcome to second video in the Ignored Fun Facts video series. Get ready for more awe-inspiring information. Technology is an important part of life of the whole world today. But did you know that there are some facts we could never have known about it, just as it's vast in its ability. Technology has also some amazing things we didn't know about. Now onward to our first fact. How do you think data is transmitted between countries? Is it through satellites? I bet everyone thinks it through satellites. But what you're thinking is wrong. Actually, our data is transmitted through cables. Sounds silly, right? But it's true. 99% of international data is transmitted by wires at the bottom of the ocean called submarine communication cables. In total, there are hundreds of thousands of miles long and can be as deep as the height of Mount Everest. The cables are installed by special boats called cable layers. It's more than a matter of dropping wires with anvils attached to them. The cables must generally be run across the flat surface of ocean floor, and care is taken to avoid coral reefs, sunken ships, fish beds, and other ecological habitats. There are well over 1,000 satellites in orbit. We are landing probes on comets and we are planning missions to Mars. We are living in the future. It just seems self-evident that space would be a better way to virtually wire the internet than our current method of running really long cables along the ocean floor. Surely satellites would be better, right? As it turns out, no, or at least not yet. Satellites have twofold problem: latency and bit loss. Sending and receiving signals to and from space takes time. Meanwhile, researchers have developed optical fiber cables that can transmit information at 99.7% the speed of light. For an idea of what the internet would be like without undersea cables, visit Antarctica, the only continent without a physical connection to the net. The continent relies on satellites, and bandwidth is at a premium, which is no small problem when one considers the important data-intensive climate research underway. Today, Antarctica Research Station produces more data than they can transmit through space. Okay, now let's go to the next fact. This one is actually related to our last fact. You might ask this question if you have seen the last fact. So, if the internet works without satellites, what are satellites used for? Some satellites are used for communication, and some of these communication satellites actually do provide internet connectivity. If you live far out in the backwoods country, like in mountains of Himalayas, you might not have land-based internet service available. In that case, you could purchase internet service from a satellite company. If you purchase from a satellite company, you would get a dish, like the Dish for Dish network satellite TV service, and that would hook up to your computer providing internet service that is transmitted through a relay on the satellite. Many more satellites provide television and voice communication. There are satellite phone services you can purchase that will allow you to talk over a satellite phone anywhere on the globe, far out to the sea or in the deepest rainforest of South America or out in the middle of Sahara Desert. Other satellites take various forms of images from space, pictures as you see when you use Google Earth. These imaging satellites are used to do scientific research and what changes on the Earth. These are very valuable sources of pictures because from some satellites you can see most of the hemisphere of the Earth in one picture view. They use those to look at cloud patterns. So when you see a weather map showing a hurricane from above, that picture is likely from a satellite. There are lots of other specific technical and research oriented and military uses for satellites. Moving on to the next one in our checklist. Ever heard of the terms deep web or dark web? If you have not heard of these terms, don't worry. You are going to learn a lot today with us. Hop on this wonderful ride to explore the deepest secrets of the web. There are millions of pages on the internet. However, about 90% of the pages are not indexed by search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing, etc. which means only a tiny portion of the internet accessible through search engines or standard means. If we imagine web as an ocean, the surface web is the top of the ocean, which appears to spread for miles around and which can be seen easily or accessible. The dark web is the deeper part of the ocean beneath the surface. The dark web is the bottom of the ocean, a place accessible only by using special technologies. Surface web is the portion of the World Wide Web that is readily available to general public and searchable with standard web search engines. It is the opposite of the dark web. The section of the internet is known as the surface web or visible web. This part of web only accounts for 4% of the entire internet. Dark web is part of World Wide Web, whose contents are not indexed by standard web search engines for any reason. The content of the deep web is hidden behind HTTP forms and includes many common uses such as webmail, online banking and services that user must pay for, and which is protected by paywall such as video on demand, some online magazines and newspapers, and many more. Content of the deep web can be located and accessed by direct URL or IP address and may require password or other security access past the public website page. The dark web is defined as a layer of information that you can only get access through so-called overlay networks, which run on top of normal internet and obscure access. You need special software to access dark web because a lot of it is encrypted and most of dark web pages are hosted anonymously. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions or recommendation for us, comment below. They may become future videos. If you want to support us, like, share and subscribe.